the others. Share the link on WhatsApp groups, on LinkedIn, and we are starting in a couple of seconds. Hello, I'm Cristiano Galvao, Microsoft MVP. It's a pleasure to have you here. Today we have a broader audience, an international audience, people from Ghana, from Bulgaria, from England, whatever. And it's always a pleasure to have you here. Today we have a very special guest from Ghana, Frederick Anaafi. And it's a mix of interview and Excel demonstration for those who are here for the first time. Let me bring him here, and later I bring the comments. Good afternoon, Frederick.
Afternoon, Cristiano.
Good afternoon. I always see your posts on LinkedIn, and this brings lots of curiosity to learn more. And finally, we have you live on this broadcast of Sundays. Thank you for accepting the invitation.
Thank you. Thank you. Gotcha.
Yeah, good. I have a website here from Frederick. I will show later. He is a very experienced data analyst from Ghana, but thanks for the internet, the limits are just the communication. So we don't have borders anymore. But let me bring him here again. I have some questions about his career first, and then later he brings the demonstration. Tell me and tell us, how did you start using Excel? How did your adventure started?
Thank you very much, Cristiano, for this opportunity to be on your platform. I really appreciate this opportunity. My interest in Excel really started after tertiary education. Doing my project work with our analysis, I was the lead in terms of analyzing data. And at that time, we were using the diskettes, and we're trying to, using Excel way back in 1995. That's when at least the development for Excel starts. But the interests really started when I was employed at the NLA and as a management accountant in terms of analyzing data and preparing income statement and also balance sheet. We used a lot of data with the leadership of then CM Charles Mensah. We did a lot of work. So it was true that my development in Excel really started. And through that, I have developed interest in Excel. Strangely, with my colleagues in the office, I did not have any opportunity to even attend any Excel courses. But strangely enough, I happened to really understand the dynamics of how Excel works. There are some things I discovered up myself before I realized that it was really a tool in Excel. So really, that's how it started, Christian.
I see. Great. I see that you are accountant, and I see on your LinkedIn University of Ghana as well. You have a master and MBA in finance, right?
Sure.
So this is a powerful mix of technical skills. You told how you start with Excel, not by course, but by experience. And then you have a theory behind this skill that you acquired in the daily basis. And how do you combine this powerful background of an MBA in finance and then Excel?
Okay. So let me go back to maybe my secondary. I really attended a government school. I did science, basically from St. Augustine's College. So I went to tech, which at that place I did mathematics. So I get
Mm,
with my love for numbers. So I have my first degree in maths and also had my master's in industrial mathematics before I moved
uh-huh.
on to do the MBA in finance. So I guess with my love for numbers started way back in the secondary school. And through that, I guess I've developed myself in that. And that gives me an edge in terms of analyzing data, in terms of understanding um, the numbers and the figures. And you know that currently figures are running every stuff in the world now. So basically, that's how my interest in Excel
Wow.
and in terms of my education, that's how I'm able to blend the dynamics of being a maths background and also finance background. Yeah.
Math plus finance on the top. This is really powerful, really powerful. And then Excel. This is a very powerful combination. Let me show some comments here. We have people very glad to be here. We have Ligia, we have Marcelo watching you, uh, Basilio, Claudia is watching here, Benjamin, I suppose, is from your side because he's cheering for Ghana
Yeah.
and representing. So cool, so cool. And Paul is watching. He's calling you boss of
Ah.
Excel. This is great.
Yeah.
And a friend of us here, hey, Jose Amado, always
Sure.
watching the series.
Yeah.
Great, great.
I'm happy to see Lygia. I think I followed her on LinkedIn. I
Uh-huh.
think Lygia Galvao.
Ligia Galvão. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
She is my wife and also partner. We share insights, but she's
Wonderful.
from the Tableau side.
Yeah.
We have some differences here.
Oh, okay.
Nobody's perfect, right? Correct.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Yeah.
perfect.
That's good. That's good. That's
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
I use Power BI. I like the most, but she likes Tableau. She's
Tableau.
Tableau ambassador.
Okay.
Great, great.
But, but,
We
but,
have
but but strangely, with my interest in data, I started from Tableau background. So I started
ah,
using more of Tableau before I really dived more into Excel and Power BI.
so we have a revelation here. You were using Tableau as well
Yeah,
before
yeah,
Power BI.
yeah.
Great, good to know. Curious. This is curious. She's joking here. Tableau team.
Yeah. Oh,
And Marcelo is team Power BI.
Power
So
BI, sure.
the for the spectators, I want to see the hashtag. You are team Power BI or team Tableau? Write
Tableau.
down here in the comments.
The count. You're on the countdown. Yeah.
So cool, so cool. We have more people coming here. Paulo
Wonderful.
Tasso is here. Eric Owen. We
Hello, Eric.
have to
Yeah.
talk, Eric. We have to
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah. Yeah. Eric, great guy.
Anison, so cool, so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great, great. And I see you posting on LinkedIn. You have uh, a good number of followers and you have consistency. How do you see the scenario of social networks today and the opportunity that people have to learn more, to connect to different people? How is your relation with the internet?
Okay. So my relation with the internet, let me call it breaking point, was at the point of COVID.
Mm.
When COVID struck in 2019, 2019 to 2020, um, we're doing in person, more of in person, let me call it tutorials in terms of helping people. Little were we doing the online, and we were more focused on YouTube and also on Facebook. But with the COVID, and we wanted to reach a wider audience, um, LinkedIn down came in. And with the COVID and being in the house, what can you do? The best one could do was at least to really bring the ingenuity within oneself online. So then that's when I started creating more videos and pushing it online, trying to educate people on what we can use Excel for. And in the journey, I didn't really limit myself to Excel. I also really wanted to understand data and also to impact knowledge. So let me also state here that I'm also a Microsoft certified trainer, MCT. So I didn't limit myself there. I moved on to really also train people and also let people know what's the Excel. So for me, the breaking point was the COVID period when one has to really bring in deep down what we hold and what we can really show to the world. Yeah. And that's when I really started using more of the online social media platforms. Yes. And also bringing it together to support the whole agenda.
Yeah, the pandemic was
the pandemic, sure.
a total. It's a totally different from anything we could imagine. A sad moment for many of us, and also a moment of opportunities to change, to reflect. And I also started using more LinkedIn after the pandemic, especially from after the lockdown, that moment that people felt so isolated. I started creating more content as well. It was a very different moment for everybody here. We have some testimony here from press printing. Frederick is such a great tutor. Always an honor to listen to him.
Right.
Good, good. You have good fans.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. And I see on your LinkedIn the first title you have here is Data Analytics Leader, and I see your background on LinkedIn. I will not show LinkedIn page here because many of them will follow on LinkedIn. Some I see that they are already watching from inside LinkedIn. So for those who are not following Frederick, start following him right after this broadcast. But I'm seeing here experience in, for example, the most recent here is head of business development and data. And how is your activities around data, and how is Excel in the middle of all these things? Because I suppose it's not only Excel, but Excel has some place in your mission.
Okay, I'm sure. So Excel has been the foundation in terms of the work I do. I work with the NLA, and I started with the sales. I've been in the sales team driving the business in terms of, and because of my background in data, I think that's helped me very much in the sales team. Now in the business development, what I'm using the Excel really to do is really to more of like give direction and analyze the data to really support the business. I'm not limiting myself to the Excel as I initially stated, more of using Power BI and also moving into PowerPoint for better presentations to my audience. Aside that, as I initially stated, we have the Fred Excel as in our area, we call it the side hustle, where we are promoting the Fred Excel to really train young graduates on how to understand data and also to use Excel in their day-to-day work. So for us and my team, the focus has always been on how to use Excel efficiently, both at the workplace and also both at people who really want to analyze the data and understand. So our focus is also on the corporate organizations and also young graduates. And we have also tried to really have some partnership with some huge institutions as the CompTIA and also Setinox and Microsoft itself. So we are not, for me, the breaking point is to really bring business and let the local understand the importance of data and how to effectively use data to make an informed decision. That's how we are really using Excel here. And Excel is a free tool. It's a free tool. So far as you sign on to Microsoft, at least you have access to Excel, and everybody who works in a corporate organizations can use the Excel to really analyze data. And it's a very powerful tool. It's unfortunate that we use just a limited portion of it to analyze the data. But if we should open ourselves up and learn more of Excel, I believe that we can do greater things with Excel, both from the finance, lecturing, engineering. Excel cuts across all fields. And I believe it's a high, let me call it, it's a breakthrough application.
Yes, great, great. Let me show them the website again. People can find lots of videos there, and
Sure.
they are very focused. So it's a good source of learning, not only from people in Ghana, but everywhere. Great, great. And you are bringing some demonstration today as well, right? I
I'm
see
sure
your
I'll do
screen.
a little demonstration. A
Okay.
little demonstration, yeah.
Can I put on the screen? I see some files, or and I can put it now on the screen, or after you open one of them. Which one do
No,
you prefer?
I'll use one of them, just one of
Okay.
the files, yeah.
Tell me when I can enable here.
Okay, sure. Sure. So we'll need 30 minutes to do that, I guess.
Uh-huh. So you are opening the file. It's a demonstration about some powerful tools for those who are coming now. I see the numbers of spectators increasing now. So Fred will open his Excel to show us some file. Can I share the screen out?
Okay, sure.
Okay. Hi, Christian from Romania. Soon you will be here as well. And Samuel, that I showed the comment before, welcome to the channel. Let me put his screen here. It's not opening the plus the share screen again, because it's like we have two Fredericks here on my platform. Yeah, now it disappeared. Okay, now you press the share and then I put on the screen here. So we have more people from Team Power BI than Team Tableau. Okay, but put that screen again with the share button, that anytime I press
Am I
the
on?
other
Yeah.
buttons. Yeah. I cannot see the screen here below.
Okay, let me reload the page again.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Raman. Hi, Nelson. Bem-vindo.
Yeah.
Welcome.
I think I've shared the
Okay,
screen
okay.
again.
I see now. Then, but I'm seeing your StreamYard, and I suppose it's the other screen with Excel that we had before. for you on the other side who is watching us, take the opportunity to get the link and share to the others, because they will have a chance to watch the demonstration from the beginning. We have more people from Ghana now. Hey, welcome to the channel.
Am I on? I keep on sharing, but
yes, now I can see it. Let me put on the screen here. It's blank now, but it's loading something here. It disappeared. This is the... You can also open Excel over this screen, and there's no problem. Yes, better now. I will leave you. Okay, we all can see. I will leave you with this part, and I will remove myself, but I'm watching here. If you want anything, just call me that I come back. Okay?
Okay, good. Great. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So today we are going to learn some Excel power tools for data analysis. First, we'll look at how to update our data with dynamic numbering, cleaning of sample data with Power Query. We'll go into just a clean data with more info using the geography, then analyze data with the DA tool, and analyzing data with pivot tables. We'll also use AI in Excel data analysis. So let's start from here. This is a simple data we have here, which was really pulled from an ERP. And we need to clean this data and analyze it. First, we want to know the total number of rows we have. Simply, some may just select the whole data, and on the status bar, my count, and so, okay, fine, we have 97 rows. But I just want to introduce how to quickly number the data so that you can, at any point in time, should you even delete any row, the numbering will update by itself. So we'll do that by simply using the function, the if combined with the max function. So we start with the equal sign, or you can use a plus sign. If our logical function will be making reference to cell C4, and now block it, F4. You are saying that if that particular cell C4 is empty, what should happen? That numbering should also give us an empty cell. Otherwise, then it should be max, where we are going from that particular range. We are using the colon. We'll block the first bit. Here we'll use a 4 again. Close it and just add a plus and a 1. Then we close it. Then we enter. So in here, we have our numbering here. So far as this cell is empty, assuming I delete this, then it means it will not show. But so far as I have my number there, it will update. Now I can double click it and it automatically gets all the rows numbered. The beauty here is that should you delete any column in here, automatically the numbering updates. So now the numbering is more dynamic. It's not static. So automatically the numbering updates. This is one trick you can use to number your stuff, so that should you delete any column, or at least you won't come back to come and do the numbering again, but simply the numbering column will update automatically. Now with this data we want to clean, you can see the sales portion. The names are not well spelled. You have starting with a small or lower caps mixed with caps. Then you can see that there's some space in front of the payment method. How do we clean this? Simply, we are going to use the Power Query editor to do that. How do we do this? Simply, you select anywhere within the data and now go to the ribbon, go to data. Then we go to transform data from the data range. So simply, we'll select the data. Note that here our data really have header. So we'll check on it. And this will bring up the Power Query editor. And this is a very powerful tool which you can use to really clean your data. So at this point, we really want to clean our data. First, we'll name the table. So let's give it, let's say, clean data. We have our numbering here. The order ID, we want to make sure that there are no duplicates. So we'll delete or we'll remove duplicates in here. We'll just select that column, right click and say remove duplicates. Take note of the status bar. You can see that on the status bar, there are 96 rows and 13 columns. So far as remove the duplicates, you'll see that they were duplicates. So now we have only 89 rows in there. So we are still cleaning our data. This is date. So we need to change it into a proper date format. So we'll go to the column header and change the format to date. Automatically, it now converts all the numbers to dates. Now, in this instance, assuming our boss is fine, he wants both the first and the last name to be in one column. Then it means we need to really merge these two columns. How do we do this? Simply, our hand will be on the control key. We select the first name and the last name. On the ribbon home tab, we go to merge queries. And we say, we go to transform. Then you go to merge columns. So we are merging the columns. So the separator, what separator should we use? We can use either the space, we can use a comma, we can use the equal sign. At this point, we will use the space. And when it merges, what name should we call it? Let's just call it the name. Then I click on OK. You can see that now the names are merged. So we have Edu Murphy started. So now first, initially, we had the first name and the second name. So that now we have combined all for it to be in one column. Then we have the gender. We have the age. The age, we can change it to whole numbers. Then country. We have price. We have units. Unit is supposed to be absolute. We'll just do a run up of it. So we'll select the column and run it up to whole numbers. Then we have the revenue bit. Here too, we need to do some cleaning. You can see that there's some initial space starting. So we'll select that particular column and now go to format and say capitalize each word, see what happens. Here we have to remove the spaces. Sorry, so we use trim. So the moment we trim it, the initial spaces are removed. In the sales portion, that's where we want to really capitalize. So we go in and say format, capitalize each word. So you can see that all is now capitalized. Then you can proceed to really take off the initial space. So we can use trim and we have the space taken out. After this, we can load the data. But note that the Power Query is a very powerful tool and you can use it to really clean your data and apply some DAX formulas and functions in here. So we'll just load our data here. Say close and load. So our data will be loaded. And it will be in a table format. We can close the query connections. So we have our data in here. Here we'd like to do some analysis. I don't know if at this point there's any question for me to respond to, or I should proceed, Cristiano. Hello?
Oh,
Okay.
I was muted. Do you mean if I have a question from this data to propose or questions from the comments?
Please, both for commenting from your end.
Okay, so for those who are watching, feel free to ask your question. As an example here, I think it would be nice to know how many people we have from each country. Those who are not very familiar with Excel, I believe we will love to understand how would you count people from different countries.
Great. Okay, so we'll get to that. So we can use the count if to do that. And simply, I can quickly do that here. If I want to know the number of people within each country, simply I can use the unique function in here. Now to bring the unique countries within this column. So we have the various countries in here. Then I can do a count if for each of the each of the countries. So I can do a count if to focus on the range. We are talking about the country. Now focus on the criteria referring to Ghana. Close and enter, which means country here appears 16 times, United States, and Brazil 12 times, in that order. Okay, so that's how quickly we can count the various countries, the number of times they are really represented in this data. Now let me move on to analyze the data quickly using the data analysis tool. To do that, assuming my boss comes and says that's fine, he's interested in having some statistics on the revenue. When you go to data, we have the data analysis tool, which we can use. If yours is not activated, the easiest way to do it is right-click, go to Customize ribbon, go to Add-ins. In Add-ins, we have the Analysis tool pack. You go to the Analysis tool pack. There you have the add-ins. You can add it in here. You can check the Analysis tool pack, and you have it in there. So we are going to use the Analysis tool pack to analyze the revenue. So we'll click on the Analysis tool pack. We are going to use descriptive statistics. The input range will focus on revenue. Don't forget that in selecting, we added a revenue bit, which is the header to it. Where should the output be? Let the output just be here. Let me push it to the side. Let's say cell Q here. That's Q2. That's where the results will be. And we want just a summary statistics for the revenue bit. So then we can click on OK. And voila. It gives us the data for the revenue in terms of the mean, the standard deviation, the median, the mode. Within the revenue, we now know the maximum and the minimum. The count, 89. The same way it means when we count this using the alt + sign. 89, the same. So their count, you can see 89, 89. And the sum of it for the total revenue is the 129 or 1,291,807. So this gives us a whole descriptive statistics of the revenue. We know the mode, we know the median, we know the kurtosis, we know the range. And this is how quickly you can use the data analysis to really analyze your data. You can use it to analyze the price, the unit quantity. Easy to do. Now let's assume you want more information. You want to know the population of each country and also know, maybe even introduce the flags in here where we talk about the geography. Note that I'm using Excel Microsoft 365 premium version. So sometimes you might be limited if you are not using the higher version from 2021. You might be limited with what I'm currently coming to do. So quickly, can I introduce the geography here? You go to data on the ribbon. You go to the data types. You go to the geography. So this will link, you need to be connected to the internet, and this will link you to the Bing. Okay, great. So with this information, we can really gather more information in here. So in here, I can decide to pick the population for, or even the capital city for each of the country here. So I can pick the country, so it will update and give me the capital city for each of this. Let me push this one to a different cell. Good. And I can decide to pick the population also for each country. This has given me the capital city for each of the countries here. You can see India, New Delhi, England, London, Brazil, Brasilia. Okay, so now let's move on to maybe picking the population for each country in here. You can scroll down and now look for population and pick the population, and note that it gives us the estimated population for each country. And as soon as I even want to introduce the flags, I can do that by just clicking on the show card here. In the show card, I can click on extract image to grid. Quickly, it extracts the image to the grid. And you can see it gives me the images for the various countries. And in this, I can really use to analyze my data and gather more information. I don't know if at this point there is any information. If not, I'll move on to using pivot tables to analyze this data.
This trick is awesome because just before we follow, this trick is very good because I have seen some people using the unique function at the side or in the other tab, any other tab, and then they try to use the geography on the result of the unique without preparing what you did before. And of course, that wouldn't work because we cannot apply the geographic in formulas in the results. So for those who are watching, pay attention on the steps that Frederick followed before. First, he applied the geography on the column of the countries, and then the unique already came with the geography types. This is the correct way of trying to do. I'm just telling about this because I have seen people trying to do in a different way, and then they get frustrated because they say, hey, this doesn't work, because they don't know how to do it. So
Yeah.
I'm showing that this is a very good technique. And then once we have the column prepared, we can also bring the population, the flags, and other tricks.
Other information, sure.
Yes, and we see that there are some people very happy already here. For example, we have Ellen. Ellen is happy to be here in this program. Samuel is happy because he is learning new tools in Excel today. Very good, very good. And we have other comments here as well. Fred is the real deal. Good, good, good. All right, all right. Let me stop interrupting the show. I just said that because it's a very uh, important point of your demonstration that I think it deserves a special comment so that people can understand the importance of the steps you did here. Okay, go
Thank
ahead.
you.
This is excellent. This is
Okay,
excellent.
thank you. Thank you. So we proceed to use pivot tables to really analyze this. So to introduce pivot tables, we can select in the table and go to insert. Then we can insert our pivot table. Inserting our pivot table, we can decide to let it go into a new sheet or the existing workbook. In this stage, we'll move it into we'll move it into a new worksheet. Great. So we have our data in the pivot table. So assuming you want to know the sales persons and the revenue they generated, this is just a pick and drop. And it makes Power Pivot tables made easy here. So let's look for the salesperson in here and drop it in the row canvas. So these are the unique sales reps. Then we can pick the revenue because our interest is in the revenue. Drop in the revenue, and that's the revenue. We can go in here and change the format, go to value field settings, and go to number formats and change it to number. And you can try to reduce the decimal places to 0 and apply. So then we have the revenue bit there. We can proceed to do other analysis. To introduce it simply, you can just copy this content and just paste it here. And now moving to really do another different analysis. Here, my interest will be in the country. But in the country in here, I would like to represent it by flags. So I'll go in and push in the image. And I'm expecting the image to be updated in here. Let me check here. Because I'm expecting the image to show the colors. Okay, so there's the country per revenue. In the same way, we can push in for the country. Let me introduce another analysis here because I still want to show the countries with a flag. Strangely, my flags are not showing here, but if that becomes of a difficulty, we can go around it. Okay, so we can go around that by using the image which I wanted to introduce in here. Let me go to my clean data. And assuming this is not working for me, I can quickly introduce the flags with pictures in there. So I'll go to equal to image. I'll go to illustration and insert pictures rather. Pictures placed in cells. So I'll pick my countries online. Since I have my countries online here, Okay, let me quickly show, because I also have people who sometimes after introducing the geography, if they want to remove it, they have a challenge with that. Quickly, you can just select this and go to home, go to data, and go to text to column, and just delimiter next, finish. This is supposed to happen. Next. Let me copy. I guess it's not allowing me here. Paste it special. And now use the delimiter. Okay, so now I've removed the country in there, sorry, there. So we have both here. So I can use the insert image to really solve this quickly. I go to pictures, place in cell, maybe pick it to online. So the first country is Ghana. So I can just pick the Ghana flag. Okay. So I can use that to insert the various flags. I guess I've done that already in here. So maybe I can just pick this and use. I just wanted to show. So I can quickly pick this. That's how you can insert the various flags in here. Because I want to ensure that it still happens in there. So I'll just come to the clean data and paste it specially here. Okay. Then I can use maybe a simply XLOOKUP or VLOOKUP to pull the country with the various. So then I can quickly pull, still trying to apply the flag. So maybe VLOOKUP and simply say lookup for country and this data. F4, bring out the second, 0. Why is this not working for me? Mm. Oh. I wanted to bring the countries in here. Let me pick it from here.
My pivot table here has the flags. I did exactly the
Yeah,
same
I'm surprised.
steps.
I'm surprised.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me show them mine. And
Okay.
I believe all the others who are following the steps, they have the flags as well. I have a small replica of the steps Fred did.
Okay.
I have I didn't put other countries, but we could do there, here, that be here, and then I had these pivot tables. I can bring the name or the flag. It's working normally here. Let me bring other countries: Angola, United States. Our friend that I believe that was from Ghana is from Chicago. He said here in the chat, and then other here, England. So we have more flags now, and then let's refresh. Okay, it's good.
It's
Something
good. Yeah.
with your computer, but the steps are totally correct.
Correct. Okay.
Good.
Let me see.
Let me go back to your screen here.
Okay. I don't know why it's not working, but let's see. Let's continue. Okay, so with this sorted out, we can quickly now move on to how to analyze the data. As I was doing the pivot table, I really wanted the flags to come out. I guess this is coming from my laptop. But let's move on to other analysis. Assuming we want to really find do a quick analysis. So now move from the pivot tables, using the pivot tables, so now using more of the, when you go to the home, using the analysis data to analyze your data quickly, just using the information you have in here. So when you select the data, you go to analyze data. Then here, this is live made easy here. So quickly, as when you put in here, you say you want sales revenue, revenue by salespersons. Quickly, it gives us that information without going through the hassle of the pivot table, and you can quickly insert that information here. So it gives you the sales per person by using the data, analyze data tool here. And it's more like based on AI. The query you put in there, that's the information it gives you. You can say that you want insight, let's say insight into country. Then it will give you the insight into the various country based on the information. So it tells you that the country India accounts for the majority of the population. What it means is that we have the highest population being India. It gives us more information telling us that for salesperson, Watamula country, England, has a noticeable higher population in terms of ranking it against the salesperson. So there are more insights in here which you can pick based on the information you really want to give to your supervisor. Here it tells you that the payment method, gift card country, United States, accounts for the majority of the population. So in here, wonderfully, you can use the analyze data insight to really bring out more information. I can say you can go in and say that I want insight into just revenue. It will tell me or give me some graphs. So here it gives me a correlation between the revenue and the unit quantity. So revenue correlated with the unit quantity. It gives you some graphs in terms of population against revenue. Payment method, it tells me that credit card accounts for majority of the revenue. So assuming this analysis you really want, because don't forget that the payment was based on cash, credit card, and also I think gift card. So you can quickly insert this into your Excel sheet, and you can have your graphs in here, and you can pull all of them into a different sheet and have a simple dashboard in there. So I can just copy this or even cut it and now move into a new sheet. Where's my new sheet? Okay, insert a new sheet and now paste it in there. So we can do more of insight in here, insert and push all of them into a particular sheet. So let me call this one. Let's say there's a dashboard. And assuming you are interested in for payment method credit card salesperson, Hannah has the noticeable higher revenue in terms of credit card sales. So then you can input in there. I don't know if at this point, Cristiano, there's any question or any inputs from your end.
No, you just can hide. Feel free to hide the banner about sharing below. You just
Okay,
yeah,
so
or you just move.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
But we could see the sheet names. It's totally fine to understand, and people are enjoying the way I put as the highlight here for those who are maybe they are not familiar with analyze data. Frederick is using natural language inside Excel. So if you know how to write in English, you just query inside analyze data in English. You don't need formulas. You don't need
No.
so special sequences of commands inside Power Query. For example, Ligia was commenting here that she loves Power Query and she knows Power Query has huge features, but for her case, transpose columns is the best. She has some specific needs, but people inside Power Query must know where to press the buttons. The people should know when to change the data type or something else. And what you are showing here is even more democratic because every Excel user can enable analyze data and then ask something and get insights. This is very, very special. Very good. Excellent. We are reaching the end, almost the end of the session, almost 1 hour. For those in the other side, feel free to shoot any question because
Sure.
Frederick is showing lots of content here today. Feel free to shoot your question, but I think this is great. There are some tools that I obviously love as well, but analyze data for sure is one that I believe is a game changer because it puts the data analysis on the hands of any people. If
Sure.
they know where to find something, uh, they think there might be something about sales, something going on with the countries, but maybe they don't know how to express. They they may simply ask to analyze data, and then they have lots of insights. Great. We have another Frederick here saying awesome demo. Thanks for watching us.
Welcome.
And I think
Welcome.
other questions may come after the broadcast live.
Okay. So as you said, I guess the analyzed data will be a game changer in Excel. And for me, one of the game changers I can also see has to do with the Python being introduced into Excel. I guess it's going to be a really game changer. Many thought that maybe with the introduction of new applications, Excel is going to die. But I guess it's getting stronger and stronger, and the dynamics and how one can use Excel is really improving. I guess Excel will continue to be the basis of all application development, and I guess Excel is a really powerful tool.
Yes, yes. My feeling when they released the analyzed data was, all right, all the people have power in their hands now because they can simply queries uh, about some insight. Okay, right. But and about us, we are more advanced. What we are receiving? Where is my gift? I don't have any Christmas gift here. So they, after a couple of years, they finally released Python in Excel, and I believe Python is, if we use this expression, okay, where is my Christmas gift? Python in Excel for us is the tool because we can do much more than simply in Excel. And people, the general audience, they can use analyze data to create something great as well. So for different audience, we have different tools, and I believe now everybody will finally be happy with Excel, with this amount of news we had, amount of changes 2 years ago or 3 years ago, not a long time ago. Great, great. This is a great insight from this session. Thank you, thank you.
Welcome,
Uh,
welcome, welcome. Maybe I had the bonus to show, but I don't know whether time will permit me in terms of extracting text from picture using the Power Toys app. Yeah, I'll just talk about it, but
uh-huh.
one can install the Power Toys app where you can use it to extract data from maybe a speech or even a material you have scanned. So if you have a material you have scanned, you can simply use the Power Toys in there. You can go and download it from the Microsoft Store.
I'm a huge fan of Power Toys. I have Power Toys here as well. I use it to split my screen and also to extract text from different sources as well. I have a question from John. Yes, this will stay recorded both on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. If you watch later, it's better on LinkedIn to enter my LinkedIn profile because we have all the videos of this series listed there. And we lost Frederick. You find the other episodes, including this one here, on my LinkedIn profile. If you are on YouTube, you just find Excel Turbo. Is even better if you search for Cristiano Excel Turbo. Then you will finally find the channel with the episodes. All right. What Frederick was about to say is Power Toys. Power Toys is another software, and because of the time and we lost him, I believe it's not possible to show today, but we can come back other day to show this other two. Uh, Paulo Tassio, thank you very much for the tips. Incredible possibilities. Yes, 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 great. And awesome demo here. Well, we are finishing today. Thanks everyone for watching, and thank Frederick. He will come back later, but I talked to him. Thanks for the awesome demonstration and for accepting to provide this series of tips in this important time. Thank you very much. next sec. Oh, we have more comments here. Yes, a part 2. Yes, I agree. And for the next Sunday, we have Professor. Oh, he's here. Frederick is back. I was about to say that the next Sunday we have an Excel trainer that was teaching lots of people at the Columbia University. It is
Great.
very good to watch. But tell them, Frederick,
Great.
Power
I guess you
Toys
lost
is
me. Sorry.
another. Yes. Power Toys is another software, right? That you use to extract text from any sources. He's frozen again. It's not me, I promise. I'm not pressing anything. Uh, but yes, we will do a part 2. Okay. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you, Basilio. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for people from the United States, Malta, Brazil, and other places. We are back on the next Sunday. Bye bye.